Hello, this is Mr. Fleming, and this is for all my classes. Now, we are going to come back from Christmas vacation, and we'll be fully remote. And I want everyone please to know that we will be doing videos, and I want you to watch the video during a regular class time. This is important. I'll be making a Google Doc, and that will be my attendance. So if you don't watch the video during your regular class time, you will not be getting credit for attendance. I will be doing office hours, and you're welcome to check in there also. Now, for the classes, I want a project done when we come back on January 11th. And I want the setup to be just like we've been talking about in class, in which you're going to do a series of thumbnails, rough drafts, and then final drafts. We have a little time before the end of the second quarter, and for people who are looking to improve their grade or people who want to maintain a grade of A or above, do understand I'm expecting to see the work in your sketchbook. You at home are expected to work at least an hour drawing while you're remote. You have 2 days in the classroom, so that would mean when we're fully remote, I'm expecting 5 hours of drawing in that sketchbook. Now, it's not all final draft. It will be rough draft, rough sketches, thumbnails, roughs, and then final drafts, but also your own drawing, what you're interested in. But you're also expected to get these drills done. We have color drills, we have painting drills, we have tone drills. Those were done in the classroom. That wasn't to do once and I did it and I'm all set. These drills are to be done on a regular basis. They improve your skills and like push-ups and running, the regular maintenance of becoming a visual artist. Now, as far as the project goes, I want to be very clear as far as what we're doing. In any project, I should be able to ask any student to tell me what the elements of art we're using and what we're trying to create with the elements of art. With this project, what I want to do is use the elements of art, in particular line, to create movement. So that will be the objective of the project. Now, the other objectives that we're working on is composition and design. But that really should be the very first step for any project. That really is not the goal of a project. You have to be able to use composition and design for any project. So while doing that, we'll do the thumbnails and the roughs, but do keep in mind we do want the drills. And over here, please take a look. These are some final drafts that were done by 8th grade and by Art 1, not my up-level classes. But this is the end goal, to have a final draft that we could use for a portfolio. Now, Art 1 and 2 are open to anybody. You don't have to want to go to art school to be in those classes. But if you are in Art 1 and you do want to go to art school, you're thinking of being a graphic designer or an interior designer or an architect, maintaining that idea and then keeping this work so you could use it as a portfolio is important. So keep that in mind. I want to see the drills, I want to see the process, and then the final draft. So when you come back on the 11th, we should have one final draft. Again, we're going to use the elements of art to create the principle of art of movement, but please keep in mind composition and design. Your very first choice is how I'm going to arrange my picture plane. One is, am I going to go on the horizontal? And notice I have 2 different examples here. Here I have 4 different quadrants, 4 different shapes, 4 different rectangles that are divided equally into the picture plane that I can also use as a format for my composition design. This works very well for cartooning and panel work as far as telling a story. It's not necessary. I can also work on the vertical, and again this is 8 inches by 10 inches, and that would be for all of them, and also on the vertical with the 4 quadrants separated equally. That's up to you. That will help organize your drawing to your final draft, so just keep that in mind. But you have to make this decision first, okay? So just as a quick reminder, we're working on, let's see if my handwriting works. Composition and design. Now, looking at those 2 words, you might ask yourself, what's the difference? And it might be a difference without a distinction. But just for the sake of arguments and lexicon, composition, I'm going to use composition is the arrangement of the elements to create a principle. So in this one, we're working specifically with the element of line. We can also use shape. And we're going to create a principle of art, which is going to be movement. So that would be our composition objectives. As far as what is design, design would be the arranging of the principles and the elements in a very specific way to make a pleasing visual effect. Again, these are terms we might use more in our upper level classes, certainly at a college level, but we should know the language. Everybody is expected to understand line, color, value, texture, shape. Those are my elements, and they create principles, space, contrast, rhythm, emphasis, balance, variety, and movement. Everybody should have this in their sketchbook. Nobody should not have this. Everybody should use this language regularly, and that's important. Okay, so we understand the setup here, so let me just break this down a little bit. And we don't need this. Hold on. And we'll do this. I hope to prearrange this a little better for us next time. And all right, so let's take a look over here. Now the first step when we make our composition is decide whether we're going to go to vertical or horizontal. What I'm setting up here is a series of thumbnails of ideas I might want to accomplish for a final draft. Notice I give myself many different fields, some horizontal. I may want to use the quadrants. And over here I'm going to do a very quick thumbnail of movement. So over here I have my character. He's humanoid. And this is more or less his body and the upper oval of his face. And what I'll do is I'll make a pie coming in, a pie getting closer, and then splat pie is right there in his face. Again, I'm not working much details. I'm just looking for ideas. Here what I'll do is a circle, do a circle, I'll do a circle, and then do a circle, and I'll put a person, and he comes into my picture plane, he kicks the ball goes flying, the ball comes back and hits him in the face. There's an idea. I'll make another idea, quadrants, I'll make people, and my people are sitting down. And my people are watching the sun. And the sun is moving off to the right. And over here arises the moon. The sun is off the picture plane. They're looking at the moon. The moon is setting, and my people are gone. Another idea. I can do a flower blowing in the wind. And I can put a person flying a kite. So even though this is one frame, I'm still able to get movement across with the motion of the flower petals and the motion of my kite. I do the same thing with a sailboat. When the sails are filled with air, I can put a bird going flying off, clouds going off, and I can make people walking here in the foreground. So you want to work on these sketches so they're quick and they're light, and then take an idea. I can do one more over here. I'll do volcano rock. I'll make a meteor coming down, and I'll make people running away. Right? So those are my thumbnails, okay? And I may take these thumbnails and I might make them to a different level. Let me go over here. So at this point, what we want to try to do is take our thumbnails and make it a rough. So let's take this one over here. This is my thumbnail, and here is my picture plane. And what I'm going to do is first I'll mark out the quadrants. Okay, so again, we're going to work on 8 by 10, but here we're going to make quadrants. There we go. Just make 4 of them. And again, this is a rough sketch. This is not my final draft. I might take this and trace this with tracing paper. All I want is 4 quadrants. So those are my 4 quadrants. I'm using this one right here. So here is my person, and I might give a bit more detail here. Might make his arms come down there. Here's his neck. There's his lips. There's his nose. There's the back of his head. Here's his ear. And there's his eye. And there's my person just looking right there. Again, I am just making a rough. I'll make the person again. And there's my neck. I'll make the jaw. At this point, what I'll do is I'll introduce the pie coming in. I might give these little lines to make speed. And at this point, what I'll do is make his mouth open. His eyes wide open. And there's the back of his head. And again, we'll do a little hair. And at this one, we'll make his eyes even more wide open. Here's his shoulder again. Here's his arm, put his arm in. And this one I'll make his wide open. And there's my pie. And the last one we'll do is here's his shoulders. Here's the pie pin. And I'll make it. And the pie splattering all over his face. Okay. So that's the process we want to see as far as setting up for our final draw. We're going to do thumbnails. I choose a thumbnail and then I bring it back to final draft. I'll do the same thing over here. Here I chose the vertical, here I chose 4 quadrants, here I'm choosing the horizontal. And now I'm going to do the same thing as far as the design. I have a thumbnail, I have 2 people running in, I have a volcano, and I really don't want this to be the final draft. I'm looking to make a rough. I'm looking at this and how I want to do it. Let's work on the people here. So when working the people, again, I like to put a spine. Here are my hips, make all the moving parts. Here are my knee, there are my feet. This person's in front, there's his knee, there's his hips, there's his legs. This person falls behind. I want to know that so I can overlap that line. Here's his spine, here's his shoulders, here's the head, here's the head. And again, I'm just working on how I want my proportions, but I want those people running. And I kind of know where they are in my picture plane so I can help design the others. So there are my 2 people right there, and they're running away from whatever. I have a volcano, which is really just a shape in the background. So I'm going to go over there and make my shape. It's something of a cone shape. Here I'm going to go in and make the center of the volcano, and here I'll make these rocks come out. And they're flying away from that explosion. Inside there, and we'll have lava drip down, and I'll make a river come off. And again, I'll have that river go behind them, but I'm not going to draw through them. And I should have drawn that picture plane. So over here, I might even make another one, but here I'll make my volcano further away. And here I can see the mushroom cloud, and there, bring it over back here. I'll make another one. And that one's blowing up. And there's that mushroom cloud. And back here I'll make another one. So here are my people. Here are my volcano. I don't know how you can see them. If you dock this in, you can see this better. But there's my shape. And here's my river of lava down there. And here's my volcano off in the distance exploding. Here's another one off in the distance exploding. And I said meteor coming in. And there's my meteor coming in. These rocks are exploding out of here. My picture plane, again, you want to have a frame in there. I should have done that at the beginning. Again, this is about 8.5 by 10 in proportion. So there we have two different designs right there. Okay, these would be rough. I started off with my thumbnail. I'm going horizontal here and vertical here. Here I'm going horizontal, here I'm going vertical. I chose this one with the movement is my objective, and I have my person, the pie coming into a frame, the pie coming close to his face, and the pie exploding all over his face. Again, this is just an idea, thumbnails to rough. Over here I have two people running away, and I have a volcano exploding in the background, and I have meteors coming in, and here's my volcano exploding. Here are my meteors, I don't know if you guys can see them or not. And they're racing in to destroy mayhem and destruction. I'm using the volcano to go in the background. They get smaller and smaller and smaller, which emphasizes the space. I have this river lava coming through. So I have all kinds of movement happening here. Here, the pie is moving across the picture frame. Here, we have the elements of shape and line creating movement. Now I have some place to go with my ideas. Each of you will have your own projects given in your classes. Please check out the LMS board. When you watch these videos, you need to watch them during the time of your class. This is important, okay? So just keep that in mind. Please check out the LMS, look at the other videos. And if you're looking for an A, sketchbook, sketchbook, sketchbook. I want to see your ideas. I want to see your drills. I want to see your own drawing. Okay, so this is Mr. Fleming signing off. Remember, make art because